Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. I declare the 2024 Fall Convocation of the University of Victoria duly assembled for the granting of degrees. Please be seated. I'd like to begin by acknowledging with respect the Lekwungen, the Songhees, and the Esquimalt peoples on whose territory the university is situated, and the Lekwungen and Wisanic peoples whose historical relationships with this land continue to this day. Thank you, Robert Morris and William Pierre from Sartlet First Nation, for your drumming and singing this morning and starting us in a good way. Thank you so much. The drumming and the songs at the beginning of each of our convocation ceremonies are actually a form of protection and clear the path forward for the graduates. These celebratory, healing songs have been a part of the Indigenous cultures here for many, many years. I would now like to invite Hereditary Chief Sinupin Edward Thomas Sr. of Kosapsan, Esquimalt Nation, to welcome us here today. Hereditary Chief.
Right, Squinchel, Siam, Moksen Hela, Ziatala Heichka, escape it, a tia tangin, Tungochi. Squimately, Laquaman not tangu. Na hang it, Chilang and Hewis, Sinupin, Trisalasin at Squimatlet. Ziatala Heichka, Guanzana Tatral, Squatla, Tangu. I just want to thank each and every one of you, raise my hands up to you for coming into our home of the Esquimalt and Songhees people. On behalf of myself, Hereditary Chief Sinupin, Edward Thomas, also on behalf of my Shwalakwats, Chief Sisanuk, Jerome Thomas of Esquimalt Nation, my other Shwalakwat, he was Hakuluk, Ron Sam of Songhees Nation. So on behalf of our Esquimalt and Songhees people, raise our hands up to you. Thank you for coming and gathering together on this joyous event to be able to honor and recognize the accomplishments of the graduates today, especially with Chilang and Hewis, Satson, a fellow hereditary chief. So just on behalf of the host nation, Esquimalt and Songhees, thank you for coming into our home. We don't have a word in our language to say welcome. We, Haishka Guanzana Tetral, thank you for coming. So thank you for coming into our home of the Esquimalt and Songhees people. Ziatala Haishka.
Thank you, Hereditary Chief Sinupin, for your welcome to the territory. Pardon me. President Hall, members of government bodies, members of faculty and staff, distinguished guests, graduating students, family members and friends from all across Canada, and in fact all around the world, either in person or online. On behalf of the University of Victoria, I welcome you all here today. And for those of you joining us on the internet, come on, sit close to your screen. Do a happy dance. Applaud, cheer your loved one. It's okay because we can't see you. Today, we honor students from the faculties of Graduate Studies, Human and Social Development, Law, and the Division of Continuing Studies. Amongst those whose achievements we are celebrating today is Satsen Herbert George, an educator, activist, and leader. During the ceremony, there will be times when speakers may turn to address the graduates as they're speaking. So please pardon our backs when we do this. And I'm going to do that right now. My dear graduates, it's my sincere pleasure and honor to be able to pass along a few thoughts to you. You don't have to take notes. There won't be a test in the usual way, but there will be challenges that I'm going to put to you. Today, we celebrate the countless hours you've dedicated, the challenges you've overcome, and the determination it took to get here today. It is also a day of anticipation of what is to come, of what you'll now choose to do with all that you've learned. So I want to offer you the words of activist and great athlete Arthur Ashe. Quote, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can," end quote. In these times when we find ourselves facing continual challenges, Ashe would simply remind us that the path forward doesn't have to require perfect circumstances. It simply requires us to start right here, right now, with what we have, including the compassion that we can offer. You know, it can be tempting to go on autopilot, to disengage from the complexities of the world. But this is the moment when we need to be fully engaged. So, start where you are. You don't need to be anywhere else. The knowledge that you've gained, the skills you've developed, the friendships you've formed, they're more than tools for a career. They're tools for change. In a world where it's easy to focus on what's wrong, what divides us, and what we cannot control, starting where you are means focusing on what you can impact. It means acknowledging the world beyond the headlines. It means really seeing the person next to you, listening with empathy and respect, and having courage to allow that experience to inform you as you move forward. Next, use what you have. You are uniquely equipped by the education and the experiences that you've received here, but you will never have all of the answers, ever. And you know, that's okay. However, I have a hunch that you already have more answers than you may realize. Some of the greatest gifts of your time here have been the ability to engage with ideas, to challenge your assumptions, and to develop your own voice. And after you walk across the stage today, which is why we're all here, use your gifts. Speak out for justice, for kindness. Use your voice to elevate others, not just to be heard. Finally, do what you can. In moments of crisis or uncertainty, it's easy to think that change requires a monumental shift, but often it's the small, intentional actions, you know, the ones we take in our immediate surroundings, that matter the most. One small act of kindness, one thoughtful conversation can foster connection and change. As the author Bell Hooks said, quote, life-transforming ideas have always come to me through relationships, through people who care about me, end quote. In a time where unity feels elusive, commit to curiosity. Seek to understand before being understood. The world needs people like you. People who are not afraid to confront difficult questions with open minds and open hearts. People who understand that being a responsible citizen means engaging with the world around you, no matter how small you think your corner of it may seem. So I ask you today, what is possible where you are? Start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. And above all, stay engaged, stay compassionate, stay curious. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You have brilliant futures ahead of you. Thank you very much. I now call upon the President of the University of Victoria, Dr. Kevin Hall.
Thank you, Chancellor, for those wise words to the graduating class. We really appreciate the sentiments behind your words. I wanted to thank Hereditary Chief Sinupin, Edward Thomas, for starting us off in a good way, welcoming us to the Lekwungen territories. And I also wanted to acknowledge with respect the passing of the Honourable Senator Murray St. Clair, who many of you know was the leader of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that was really important to the history of this country. Murray's vision for the country was based on respect, human rights, fairness, justice, and equity. And he's a Canadian citizen that we will all miss dearly. I also wanted to acknowledge just yesterday, former Premier John Horgan passed away. And whether you liked John's politics or not, he was just the kind of individual that you just couldn't help to like. John contributed so much to the province of British Columbia, and we should acknowledge his contributions. So I wanted to welcome you here, the supporters, the families, the friends of the students, and of course welcoming the students. This is your day today. It's a very special day. And also extend that welcome to my colleagues up here on the platform who are here to support all of you in this ceremony. Today is a celebration of achievements. We shouldn't forget that, so that means it's a day you can cheer. You can be loud and proud. You don't have to be quiet, even though it looks, I don't know, very old and traditional with these robes and gowns on. I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm wearing, and so upholding our collective commitment to tradition, I have a traditional academic gown, but I wear a regalia hood on my shoulders that was gifted to me and created by master Coast Salish artist and hereditary chief Tiskinikin, William Good, and designer Sandra Good. The eagle on the shoulders is the messenger and carries knowledge that imparts vision and wisdom to guide us. The salmon symbolize the continuous life cycle and represent enduring resilience and regeneration. These teachings from the Coast Salish peoples who have cared for these precious territories are an important gift to all of us. It's a reminder of our responsibilities and connections to the land and the waters of this region. Responsibilities that all of us carry. Responsibilities that you, as graduates, also inherit. They're actually part of who you're becoming. And so I thought I'd perhaps talk a little bit about who is it that you're becoming? How do the values, the skills, the friendships, and the knowledge that you've learned here at the University of Victoria contribute to your future self? So let's do a little bit of a thought experiment. Let's think about yourself today and perhaps yourself someday. And so if you reach into those gowns, somewhere in there is a pen of some form. Pull that pen out and start writing a letter to yourself. Something small but powerful, something you can carry with you as you take these next steps in your journey. And you can start with, dear me, guess what? I graduated. That's why you're here today. So you should be really, really proud of what you've accomplished over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years for some of us. It took me a long time to get through university. And so picture yourself today as you're sitting here and work back a little bit. Trace out today's you in your mind and think about the journey up to this moment. You've been doing more than just earning an education at this university. You've been exercising how you see the world, how you interact with it, how you interact with each other, and how we can all move collectively together forward in the future. And think about that journey of your education. It's been a steady hike. It's full of ups and downs, but you're here at the top of your hike today and you've got this beautiful vista of the future, the untapped potential that you have. You're better equipped today to adapt and thrive in a world where change is not only constant, it's swift. And as you sketch out and describe the view, resist the urge to compare your vista, your view, to the achievements of others. Enjoy the beauty of what you've worked so hard to accomplish, and go and define your own success. And so this letter that you're writing, hopefully you're all writing it right now, the letter you're writing, it's private, so you can be honest. It's not for social media or for some kind of capital gain. So be honest with yourself. It's not just about documenting where you are now, it's about your future. And I hope you put real thoughts into your future and real words into your future. We encourage you, of course, to embrace curiosity, to question information, to adapt to change. But in doing so, ask yourself, what's driving that change? How am I a part of it? How am I an agent for change? Or am I a force opposed to the change? And what outcomes would you like to see for that change? One of the changes I thought I'd talk about just a little bit is new technologies and how they've transformed our learning environments and how they've transformed the work environments that you're going to get into, and our collective ability to solve problems. And I thought I'd share with you the letter I wrote to myself over 100 years ago when I graduated from engineering. And my technology challenge that day was these devices that were the size of a size 12 shoe. They were called calculators. And calculators were just a terrible thing. They were banned from examinations when I went to school because there was such a resistance or an urge to say no to technology. But today you're more attuned, of course, to navigating new technologies, complex software, and even collaborating with things like artificial intelligence. So make sure these tools are useful to you. Make sure you understand the limitations of the tools, but make sure, like they did for myself, the calculator, and colleagues on the stage, make sure they actually go towards useful change. Use them to your advantage. Have patience and understanding with yourself and each other when changes like this occur. So, as you complete this letter, think of it as a promise to yourself. Think about the impact that you want to have on the world. The letter that you are writing is a reminder of how to approach the choices you're going to make in life and how you're going to use those skills to meet your goals. Graduates, you've got one opportunity today to actually thank people that have been there on your journey with you. You've got all the supporters out here online. Just think about the people that have helped you over your time at university. And now's your chance to stand up if you can, cheer, applaud, scream, hoot and holler to thank everybody that's helped you on your journey. So over to you. That's not bad. It's a little quiet. We're hoping everybody here is going to be a little louder today, right? Yeah? Promise? Okay. Because this is a celebration. So thank you for that. And you can sit down now. Make sure you carry that letter with you as you think about your future, because one way of assuring the direction of your future is to actually create that future for yourselves. So congratulations to you all once again, our graduates, now our alumni. And please just know that the University of Victoria is so proud of you as graduates, but we're here to support you as you move forward in the journey of your life. So always think of us. Thank you. Chancellor Buller, Satsan Herbert George is an honorand in today's ceremony. Professor Jeremy Weber, an orator of the university, will present the citation.
Chancellor Buller, it is my great honor to introduce Satsan Herbert George, Chief of the Frog Clan of the Wet'suwet'en people, who has advanced Indigenous rights in Canada, founded and led Canada-wide initiatives to support First Nations governance, and inspired and educated generations of students to make their own contributions to the resurgence of their communities and the transformation of the relationship between their peoples and Canadian society. At the foundation of Satsan's contributions was his role in one of the most important cases on Aboriginal rights in Canada, a case that the law students who are here today will know under the name of Delgamuukw, but which ought to be known as the Delgamuukw-Gisdaywa case, for it was brought jointly by two peoples of northwestern BC, the Gitxsan, with Delgamuukw as their lead plaintiff, and the Wet'suwet'en, Satsan's people, with Gisdaywa as their lead plaintiff. The Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan have very different origins, but they have maintained an historic relationship over many generations. The case they brought together was a principal stepping stone in the recognition of Indigenous peoples' rights in Canada. The case was a huge endeavor. The trial alone took 374 days in court. That decision was appealed to the BC Court of Appeal and then to the Supreme Court of Canada. The whole process took 13 years, from the case's commencement in 1984 until the decision of the Supreme Court of Canada in 1997. And that does not include years of preparation, during which the Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan debated whether to bring the case, framed the litigation strategy, and assembled evidence. As speaker and legal and political strategist for the Wet'suwet'en, Satsan was absolutely central to that case. In both Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan societies, political authority is widely distributed. Decisions are developed over successive meetings in which houses are the key decision makers. Satsan's contributions were crucial, sustaining the discussions, shaping them towards agreement, articulating the ethical framework for the litigation, and rallying the peoples in the face of adversity. And there was adversity. The trial judgment in particular was extraordinarily difficult, the judge dismissing and denigrating Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan society. But the peoples persevered, ultimately overturning that judgment and securing a milestone in the jurisprudence of Indigenous rights. The Supreme Court of Canada's decision is now the foundation on which the Canadian law of Aboriginal title is based. And it is striking that the case was framed by the Wet'suwet'en and Gitxsan in terms that reflected their own institutions for organizing relationships to land, their own legal orders. That part of their argument was not embraced by the court, at least not fully, but it nevertheless presaged today's focus on Indigenous peoples' own law as the foundation for governance and relationships to land. Satsan's contribution to that historic litigation would alone be fully deserving of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. But it was far from Satsan's only contribution. At the same time as the Delgamuukw-Gisdaywa case was being developed, Satsan also participated in the constitutional conferences of the 1980s over the definition of the Aboriginal rights that had been recognized, but only in very general terms, in the Constitution Act 1982. Those negotiations did not produce the constitutional amendments that many hoped to achieve, but they did have a lasting impact. they made very clear that the right of Indigenous peoples to govern themselves would be central to reconciliation. And in the years that followed Delgamuukw Gisdaywa, Satsan's contributions have centered on affirming that right and advancing its exercise within Indigenous societies. He did this first during 2 terms as BC Regional Chief of the Assembly of First Nations. In that role, he represented 203 BC First Nations in advancing Indigenous action, both at the provincial and federal levels. He then went on to create, in 2005, a hugely influential organization for which he was founding president, the National Center for First Nations Governance, now the Center for First Nations Governance. The center works with First Nations to support them in rebuilding effective governance structures based on their own principles. It fosters community university partnerships, marshalling research to speak to the needs of Indigenous communities. Professor Stephen Cornell of the University of Arizona emphasizes that at the heart of all Satsan's contributions has been his emphasis on First Nations' own agency. And I quote, "The point wasn't whether Canadian policy would solve First Nations problems, but whether it would open the door to First Nations to solve their problems themselves. Satsan has a belief that the time is now for First Nations to tackle the tasks of rebuilding governing systems of their own design. Satsan has also emphasized the training of the next generation of leaders. Here at UVic, as early as the 1980s, he worked with the late Frank Cassidy to develop the program on administration of Aboriginal governments, and then, in the 2010s, worked to refound that program as the Diploma in Indigenous Community Development and Governance. Many who now lead their peoples or teach in universities speak of him as a mentor. He continues to initiate and lead multi-million-dollar research projects on First Nations governance, to teach and to serve as advisor on research and training for First Nations governments at UVic, Carleton University, and the University of British Columbia. Satsan has made monumental contributions to his own people, the Wet'suwet'en, to the recognition of Indigenous rights, to the resurgence of Indigenous governance, to the marshalling of university-based research in support of those aims, and to the training and inspiring of others to carry on the work. Chancellor Buller, I have the honor to present Satsan for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Chancellor Buller, I now ask on behalf of the Senate of this university that you confer upon Satsan Herbert George the title and degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Thank you. By authority of the Senate of this university, I'm delighted to confer upon you, Satsan Herbert George, the title and degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Dr. Satsan Herbert George, I now invite you to address Convocation.
First of all, thank you very much for this tremendous honor. I'm Satan from the Wet'suwet'en Nation, from the Gilsehiu, the Big Frog Clan, from Gaia, the Birchbark House. I dedicate my work to rebuilding First Nations governance and working with nations across this country who have made the decision to transition out from under the oppressive Indian Act, Section 9124, to our own empowered inherent rights governance under Section 35. And my remarks today are within that context. And I would like to begin by saying that it's about reconciliation and it's about completing confederation. As the original peoples of this land, we've been exercising governmental authority over our lands and our people for thousands upon thousands of years, according to our creation stories and our oral histories, with all the sophistication necessary to have complex governance systems and the laws necessary to do so. So what happened to our inherent right to self-government in our time in Canada, which is basically the origin and content of the Indian Act, which in large part was strategically planned, to strategically defined, strategically implemented prior to Confederation to begin the removal of our people off of our lands and onto reserves and position us as Indians, status Indians. And at Confederation in 1867, with the British North America Act, with the inclusion of Section 9124 of the Indian Act, Canada effectively took jurisdictional control and authority of us as a people and over our homelands. In 1876, those pre-Confederation laws that were put in place were consolidated to what we now know as the Indian Act that we have today, which positioned our people as wards of the Crown without full legal status and capacity as a natural person. The definition of a natural person at international law is a living human being. And under the Indian Act, we do not have that. It made our own governments illegal and the practice of our ceremonies illegal. Not owning the reserve lands that we were forced onto, residential school and all of the atrocities that have happened, which still plague our people today. But most importantly, for Canadians to understand, is that Section 9124, the Indian Act, also effectively separated us out from the rest of the Constitution. And as a consequence, we were never a part of the public policy dialogue in this country when it comes to the betterment of people's lives and the health and well-being of people. The best way to describe the Indian Act is through the words of Dr. Francis Abel from Carleton University. In 2008, 2009, through the center, the National Center on First Nations Governance, we did a research project on the Indian Act. One of them was to see if it is true that the Indian Act cannot realize the vision of our people and improve the quality of our lives of our people as a governance system. And in her conclusion, Dr. Francis Abel said this: the people who live under the Indian Act in Canada live in unique circumstances. There are no other citizens of Canada for whom a specific piece of federal legislation regulates their social and political citizenship and the most fundamental features of their social and economic lives. No other groups of people, except those who are in prisons, live so thoroughly under the supervision and control of the executive branch of the federal government. The stated policy objective of the Indian Act at the outset was extermination of our people. The advertised objective became assimilation, and that is still at the heart of the Indian Act, that we still have today, where our people still live on reserves. Notwithstanding that, we have a legacy of resistance. And as First Nations people, we can look into our own families and we can find aunties and uncles and grandparents who were a part of that resistance, who fought back to regain a recognition of our title and rights and our inherent right to self-government. And again, I guess the best way to explain this is in a story fashion. We did a conference at the University of Alberta Law School after the Mikisew decision came out of the Supreme Court of Canada on reconciliation. And former Justice Binney of the Supreme Court of Canada was co-keynote speaker along with myself. He made his remarks in the context of an article written in the Globe and Mail by Gordon Gibson, where Gordon Gibson said, "The Supreme Court of Canada has given Indians too much." And secondly, where does the Supreme Court of Canada get off on being social activists? That's not their job. And thirdly, where is the legitimacy? With respect to giving Indians too much, Justice Binney said, we aren't giving First Nations anything more than they already had, which was pre-existent sovereignty, which was not the subject of a grant from anybody. They always had it. It's inherent. And it has survived Confederation and is now recognized and affirmed under Section 35 of the Constitution Act 1982. With respect to the second point that Gordon Gibson made about the Supreme Court of Canada being social activists, Justice Binney said, we forced them into our court because we denied them at every turn. They came into our court in effect a foreign court, a foreign law, and they used it to gain a recognition of Aboriginal title and treaty rights across this land. And we did change the law, and we did change the Constitution. I want to pause to acknowledge the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs and people, the Gitxsan hereditary chiefs and people, and their tremendous vision and their tremendous courage to keep at it, to change the law for the very first time in Canadian legal history, to bring about a recognition of our title and rights, to start to define Section 35 to include the recognition and the protection of Aboriginal title and rights, and most importantly, to recognize our oral histories as valid as anybody else's history in the world, and that it should be admitted as evidence. I also want to thank especially my father clan and to dedicate this incredible honor to their memory at Gistewe, the late Alfred Joseph. We changed the law, we changed the Constitution with the repatriation of the Constitution in 1982. Our leaders included Section 35. At the outset, it was considered to be an empty box of right because that word existed, was interpreted by government as being fully extinguished, that there weren't any more Aboriginal title or treaty rights. And we were successful in the courts to bring about a change where Section 35 recognizes Aboriginal title and treaty rights, including our inherent right to self-government, and is now referred to as the full box of rights whose content can only be determined by the people who hold it, and that's First Nations people. We further define Section 35 in the Supreme Court of Canada, where the Supreme Court, that Section 35 is the promise of rights recognition. But more importantly to me, the Supreme Court also said, Section 35 is the promise of reconciliation between the pre-existent sovereignty of First Nations and the assumed sovereignty of the Crown. At the same time, Justice Binney also said, about legitimacy, he said, what could be more legitimate than our Constitution, the highest law of the land, and the inclusion of Section 35, and the promise of rights recognition and reconciliation. He also said, the Supreme Court has put in place the legal and constitutional procedure to drive negotiations towards a new nation-to-nation-to-nation relationship. First Nations moving out of the oppressive regime of the Indian Act, Section 9124, to our inherent rights governance under Section 35. And the reconciliation that we're talking about there is between our respective jurisdictions, nation to nation to nation. One of the other things that he also said that was important, and has always rung in my ear, was that sovereignty is not held by Parliament. It's not held in the legislature. It's not held in the Longhouse. It's held by the people who hold the pre-existent sovereignty of First Nations and the people who hold the assumed sovereignty of the Crown. And reconciliation also needs to happen on the ground amongst the people. And this is where the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action. The great work done by Justice Murray Sinclair, who sadly we lost this past week. For us to have the opportunity to breathe life into it. So let's bring this all together. The legal and constitutional recognition, the legal and constitutional procedure to drive negotiations towards reconciliation between the pre-existent sovereignty of First Nations and the assumed sovereignty of the Crown, nation to nation to nation, as an order of government, along with the reconciliation that needs to happen amongst all of us on the ground as a people. Let's make a commitment to achieve this. And when we do, in my view, we will have completed confederation, where First Nations are taking their rightful place under Section 35 as an order of government, which we always should have been from the outset. And when we can achieve this, then we can make Canada as good and the best that it can be for all of us. So we can all look to our children and wish the best for them, and have the power and the authority as sovereignty holders to make that true, to make that a reality. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm full of gratitude for this, and I ask you all, please, to take personal responsibility, because that's what it takes. Make a commitment to work together to complete Confederation and make Canada what it always should have been from the outset. Messiah, thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. I want to acknowledge my wife and my children who are here, my brothers and sisters who are here.
Well, Dr. Satz and Herbert George, thank you for an amazing convocation address, and it's indeed our honor as a university to have you accept the degree. Thank you for reminding us of the importance of all working together for the full completion of Confederation. And I think you've just recruited about 2,000 people in that journey, so thank you very much. Chancellor Buller, the deans of the faculties have assured me that the candidates to be presented to you this day and those who are absent have fulfilled all the requirements for their degrees, and the Senate requests you confer upon each one the degree for which they are now recommended. Will the students please rise if able?
By authority of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree to which you and those in absentia are entitled, and urge you to strive always with patience and sincerity for the instruction and sound learning of all people. Graduates, will each of you accept the degree to which you are entitled with its inherent rights and privileges, and the responsibility and loyalty which it implies?
I accept this degree with its inherent rights and privileges, and the responsibility and loyalty which it implies.
Well done. It's official. Class of 2024, you may be seated.
So we have a little interlude of about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. We're going to get the graduates all ready to have them walk across the stage one by one in front of the Chancellor. So you've got 90 seconds to do your Wordle. Starts with a PRI today. Or do whatever you need for the next 90 seconds or so. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The degrees from the Faculty of Graduate Studies will now be presented. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. The candidate is accompanied by their faculty supervisors or representatives. Monique Danielle Auger. Dr. Auger examined how Métis culture can contribute to prevention-based child and family support services. Her research revealed wise practices for supporting Métis children, youth, and families. In addition to informing frontline practice, Dr. Auger's work points to the need for structural transformation in the child welfare system. Dr. Auger is accompanied by Dr. Catherine Worthington from the School of Public Health and Social Policy. Jonas Bambi Yona. Dr. Bambi investigated how patients with complex issues navigate a complicated healthcare system. By using machine learning, he found distinct patterns in how services are used across various healthcare settings. These insights can help optimize care for patients with chronic conditions and potentially improve healthcare equity for vulnerable groups. Dr. Bambi is accompanied by Acting Dean Prince from the Faculty of Human and Social Development. Gillian Tara Harding. Dr. Harding explored Indigenous peoples' experiences of culturally safe health care. Her research illuminated aspects of cultural safety that have been recognized as significant by Indigenous peoples. Her research informed the development of a mnemonic that can guide healthcare providers as they seek to provide culturally safe, relationally relevant health care. Dr. Harding is accompanied by Dr. Gwyneth Doan from the School of Nursing. Donna Beverly McKee. Dr. McKee's research studied Inuit perspectives of public health tuberculosis policy and practice in Nunavut. Her findings highlighted how colonization continues to affect Inuit experiences of TB and how Inuit knowledge can inform public health policy and practice towards TB elimination in Nunavut. Dr. McKee is accompanied by Dr. Nancy Clark from the School of Nursing. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the Master of Arts. Jennifer Lynn Sarah Arbo. Dorothy Beal. Laurie Jean Hammer. Tiffany Chantal Potvin Hanan. Oyindamola Olubukola Ojini. Bradley A. Rudner. Shaylin Wabajijic. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the Master of Nursing. Andrea Dominica Assumption. Lindsay Diane Barluck. Shelby Lynn Barr. Marcela Bania Quezada. Jane Robin Carson. Taylor Glenn Coft. Jennifer Jane Collins. Emily Nicole Coulter. Nicole Alexandra Davies. Robin Ann Deering. Isadora Donoso. Maren Fox. Michaela Henry Dansereau. Monique La Yung Ho. Katrina Keenan. Nathan Kremick. Teresa Louise Hillier Lebrec. Jennifer Leduc. Melissa Jeanette McDougall. Margaret A. McIntyre. Cedar McMeekan. Jessica Catherine Newcomb. Lisa Fan. Kelsey Nicole Rosen-Malin. Sarah Lucia Ruiz. Patricia Lynn Bernice Russell. Laura Saren Saville. Melanie Lisa Tate. Chelsea Williams. Stephanie Lynn Wright. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Master of Public Administration. Derek Charles Huson. Sonia Mull Wilson. Madeline Hope Stinson. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Master of Public Health. Christine Natalie Fiduciak. Madeline Kleinfeld. Carter Nathaniel LaFontaine. Miranda Madaku Fumba. Emerson Pollard. Kira Pritchard. Sierra Felicity Valancourt. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. Ryan Quinlan Klektke. Ola V. Lee. Parisa Ranima. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Master of Social Work. Imogen Chudikbar. Natasha Dawn Billy. Blair Star Buffalo. Tyler Colbert. Trina Diane Decker. Remy Kursoga.
Remy Quiroga.
Remy Quiroga. President Hall, the diploma from the Faculty of Graduate Studies will now be presented. Annunciate Indikuma Sabo.
The degrees from the Faculty of Human and Social Development will now be presented. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Child and Youth Care. Paige Cameron. Sarah Soda Sunchild Haddocken. Sarah Kiley. Carissa B. Clammer. Chloe Irene Laper. Jessica Norman. Andy Scribner. Lara Shinkurak. Kylie Elizabeth Smith. Elena Nicole Strakalarsi. Karis Angdao Tazumi. Samantha Wolf. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Yara Al-Datala. Logan Kaylee Brown. Ka K. Chan. Maya Grace Elda Academy. Jinny Fang. Kimberly Gakasan. Jay-Wei Gu. T-May Lam Ho. Go ahead. Ava Sabrina Kasiri. Matthew Kwa. Shivani Priya Ram. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Science in Nursing. Willow Geen. Kalina Margaret Hunter, who's in a hurry. There she goes. We need those nurses. There. Okay. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. Fridolin May Osina. Salia Clokar. Jody Dow. There you go. Maxine R. Foreman. Aaliyah Ruth Marianne Greer. Kia Griffiths. Renee Joy Gruno. Kennedy Yerin. Ashley Danielle Harrell. Erin Alexandra Hui. Talitha Rose Hogman. Tira Jordan Joseph. Angela Suk Wing Lee. Kirsten Linares Herrera. Corey Evan Mapson. Lex Ann McEwen. Rose Catherine Menzies. Koshi Crystal Malanga. Hustique Jolene Michelle. Sarah Uzel. Sana Mustafa. Laurel M. Nielsen. Catherine Joyce Olivares. Shauna Lee Robertson. Catherine Michelle Taylor. Maria Eduardo Victor dos Espírito Santo. Ashley Elizabeth Walker. Emily Ann Walmsley. Bachelor of Social Work, folks. There you go.
The degrees from the Faculty of Law will now be presented. Chancellor Buller, the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. Kala Raven Vollins Bryson. Jeremy Adam Zimnica Coleman. Doris Dreyer. Stephanie Hortzman. Adrian John Lee. Aaron Christopher Phillip. Matthew Llewellyn Roberts. Lisa Dawn Rossiter. Jessica West.
President Hall, the diplomas and certificates from the Division of Continuing Studies will now be awarded. I am proud to present the recipients of the Diploma in Business Administration. Marcel Uchuco Alito Sutacio. Ferris M. I. Almukayad. Feltricia Angelica Barron Alvarez. Christina Atienza. Tashana Gavina Balahaya. Larilyn Tulawan Barrera. Prince Lou Bermilo. Monica Andre Bermuda Moreno. Bobby Lynn Vucic. Carla Marie Buenavieje. Irma Victoria Carrasco Juana. Christina C. Castillo. Angelique Leon Kaisip Rondera. Cheska Joyce Reyes Condino. Jan Lire Cruz. Precious David. Marianne Dial de la Rosa. Savannah Bianca de Leon. Lourdes Regala de Ramos. Chris Angelo Dreys. Jaisel Sam Delattre. Andre Luis Elisio de Souza. Mary Stephanie Evangelista. Eric Matsuru Lacerda Fujiyama. Ricardo Alberto Garcia Caballero. Raymond Marticio Garlitos. Yasmin Gomez Marquez. Daniela Alejandra Gordillo Rojas. Paulina Yvonne Guzman Reynoso. Shoshank Jamanje. Chi Kwang Lao. Carla May Yosen Layawan. Shelley Ann Ladesma Reyes. Harvey Jun Macau Malig. Leslie Marzal. Michael Vincent Mandres. Maria Jose Mario Amador. Daisy Nalumen. Florencia Lujan Nunes. Bettina Faith Olais. Jonathan Alexander Para Vargas. Guilherme Bezotto Roca. Cesar Alfredo Quintana Toledo. Okay. Kimmy Joy Juanitas Cabacal. Tyler John Reeves. Pyra Rodrigo. Joanne Romo. Patricia Solis. JC Grace Kasansinen Santa Maria. Ether Stella. Maria Christina Jane Takastakas. Clarissa M. Matayo. Tamayo. Mary Rose Tambowan. Talita Tavares Pereira. Earl John Tino. Anne Margaret Toledo. Angeline Bariring Valente. Marigan Kobila Valeza. The recipients of the Diploma in Public Relations. Mallory Christine Furfire. Robbie Lee Williams. The recipients of the Certificate in Business Administration. Zara May Ananuevo. Alberto Abuque, Jr. Delmeida May Ahmed Carnival. Sheen May Gonzaga Lalacando. Pamela Baltazar. Sonia Bonon Karang. Ashley Ann Dulatre. Katrina Allen Enriquez. Abigail Yvonne Valeran Gravador. Leonardo Ibsen Guerrero Tinoco. Regine Guevara. Bobby Joe Happel. Jessica Arida Honrado. Camille Jane Lumake Miranda. Nikki Monter. Lyndon Klaus Rosina Repre Patania. Ranisa May Raganas. Jonathan Alexander Kirk.
Well, congratulations to all of the graduates today. How about one more time, even though our hands are not? I shouldn't show favorites, but you're the best so far. Yeah, give yourself a hand. Now, to offer congratulations from the Alumni Association, I'd like to introduce Tristan Dennisley.
On behalf of the UVic Alumni Association, I am proud to welcome you as the newest graduates of our vibrant, ever-changing university Today you cross the stage with your classmates and supporters cheering you on. While I know you enjoyed fun times and laughter with friends, there were also long hours as you overcame challenges and grew as a student and as a person. Now you begin your new journey as a part of our worldwide network of UVic alumni. Stay in touch with us. We are here to share your successes and keep you up to date on the campus you know and love. To keep you connected to your friends and colleagues, to help you build your career and offer you engaging events and enriching educational opportunities. We hope you go forward today feeling proud of all you accomplished. You join a community of more than 150,000 alumni doing exceptional things and working to make the world a better place. Congratulations on your graduation. We can't wait to hear what you do next. Thank you.
Thank you, Tristan. No, excuse my back again. Graduates, you know, it's been a great pleasure to celebrate your accomplishments with you and your supporters today. You are now members of this convocation, and through its Senate and board, you have a voice in the direction and the development of this university. As a university graduate, you are now in a position of privilege. Use your hard-won knowledge, your skills, your compassion for good, for your community and for the betterment of humanity at large. All of us here at UVic, just as your friends and family are, we're all so proud of you. We look forward to hearing about your accomplishments as your futures unfold. I know you've heard a lot today. If you only remember one thing from today's ceremony, please remember this. Be a good ancestor. Thank you all for participating in today's ceremony. I want to express my appreciation and my thanks to all of the volunteers, the staff, and faculty who make this celebration such a great success. They get us to the right seats at the right time and hopefully in the correct regalia. I also want to make special mention and send special thanks to our student musicians who set a beautiful sound stage for our celebration today. Thank you all. Well, we're about to close this celebration. I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things now. We're going to have Olivia Charette from our School of Music sing O Canada and lead us in O Canada. After O Canada, the academic procession and all of the graduates will leave the auditorium. I'm going to ask you to remain standing for O Canada. To remain standing while everybody leaves the auditorium, but most importantly, to rise one last time, I promise, to congratulate the class of 2024.